Hello, it is summertime and some of you have surf trips planned, and I'm so excited because what you may not know is I surfed in college on the USC surf team, and I taught surfing one summer in Hawaii, which was super fun. Take your roller and start by sitting on the hardest surface you can, so not on your cushy mat. Put your sitting bones off the edge of the roller and dig the ridge of the roller right into your little hip socket, over your bum and into that peach pit, that little place where your greater trochanter drops into your pelvis. That is important because if your hip rotators are tight, you'll have trouble popping up on your surfboard. It's interesting thinking about breaking down. I practiced on my mat before we started today how important Pilates mat work is for surfing. Your hip mobility and your thoracic rotation and your thoracic extension are so relevant in surfing. I'm super excited that what I'm doing now fits what I did then. Anyway, I don't live near the ocean, so I'm not as expertly inclined, but I do know a lot about hip opening and thoracic mobility, extension, and rotation. So dig that ridge of the roller into your peach pit to start. And the second thing I would do is practice a mermaid. Go ahead and sit with your shin along the short side of your mat, your shin along the long side of your mat. Bring your roller over and stretch and reach over, folding your rib cage, but keeping your head upright. Head right over your shoulders, which is how you're going to keep your head so you can see the wave, not lose your balance. We very rarely ever look down. You're usually looking out and up, and your head's over your shoulders while you're surfing. Now, over your knee, reach out, lengthen. Again, keeping your head over your shoulders, lengthen your rib cage out over your pelvis, stretching your hips nice and long. Reach out, stretch. You should feel this big lengthening sensation between your bottom rib and the top of your pelvis. Then in front, reach out, lengthen, and back up, reach, stretch. A few times. And then the other knee, reach, pulling your rib cage away from your pelvis, but keeping both sitting bones anchored into your mat. And then the other side. So mermaid again, side bend, reach over, bringing your arm over your ear, lengthen, stretch, reach, just like you would in any Pilates mat class. And then over your knee, lengthen out, reach, pull your rib cage over your pelvis and over your thigh. Lengthen, reach, stretch, and reach, stretch. Then over your knee, or over your shin, straight out in front. Pull your rib cage away, and then restack. Press away and restack. Then over your knee, press and restack. You always see surfers and how they are in kind of a back bend, looking up the wave while they're paddling, seeing where the waves are breaking. So next, I want to warm up your back bend. It's back bend over your roller. If it feels uncomfortable, that's fine. That just means your back is not yet accustomed to bending. Try to keep your hips on the floor and put the roller somewhere on your bottom rib cage, below your shoulder blade tips. Your shoulder blades are not going to bend much at all. They're flat bones, but your rib cage will. So go below your shoulder blades and practice your back bend there. Maybe windshield wiper your knees. When I first started back bending over the roller, it was only a few years ago, and I literally thought it was like knives stabbing into my lungs. So if it feels like that today, just keep doing it and get better. Back bend here, and pivot your pelvis a little bit, leaning on one side and then the other. If you want to massage the fascia a little bit from your shoulders to your ribs, that will help. And then again, hips down. See if your back bend comes a little easier. My body is straight up pulled. I practiced like one pop up and went, okay, we're gonna do this. So again, maybe massage a little bit. Make sure your ribs are a little bit mobile right now. I don't feel the most mobile, but hopefully this will work since it's an imaginary wave. And then lift up. Good. Next thing I would do is quick little hip stretch. Step over your roller, drop out, push your front leg out, lengthen through, drop your hips a little bit closer to your mat, and just sort of wiggle your thigh bone in the socket, tick-tocking with your toe, out and in and out and in. Sink your hips a little lower, lean into that stretch, and then come back and put your shin parallel to your roller for pigeon pose. Now, if there's no way that's gonna happen today, you can sit on a ball or a block, or just get as close as you can and reach out. If you can sit all the way down, that's gonna be a little easier for your pop-up later. Do a few pigeons here. And then remember that thoracic mobility that's important. And roll out over your knee a couple of times. And then roll out over your shin a couple of times. Pulling your rib cage out away from your pelvis. And pick up your back heel and bring your heel over your knee, opposite elbow to your knee, and twist, stretching through your hips. Just sort of rock on your hips there. And that sets up your left foot in front, lean forward, grab your roller, and slide out into your splits. So whatever kind of split you have today is fine. Drop your pelvis as low as you can. What you're looking for is a little bit better, not perfection. What did Voltaire say? Perfection is the enemy of the good, or something along those lines. That's what we're looking for, is just to get a little bit better and have a little more mobility. We're warming up so this goes slightly better than it would if we didn't warm up. Just a little bit better. Drop your pelvis closer to the mat. Good. Then a little tick-tock. Rock your shin. Open, close, open, close. And then come over to making your shin parallel to your roller, wherever you can. And then reach out, back, bend up, lifting your heart, breastbone up, look out, get your head back over your shoulders. Reach out again, a couple of times. And then over your knee, reach out, stretch, back bend here. Breathe, stretch, back bend, and then reach. And then over your ankle. Reach out and back bend and reach out. Okay, so those are the few things I thought would be really relevant. Put your hands close to each other, because remember, your board is, most people that are vacation surfers are gonna surf on long boards. It's like this wide. You want your hands inside, not on the rail. You don't want to be tippy. So you want your hands just where I usually set them up for playing. So excited about that. And then drop your knees down. Little bend, little straight. Start getting your spine accustomed to lifting up. Lift your breastbone up, look out. And even when you come down, you're in cervical extension. So your chin is up, you're looking up. You tighten your seat, lift your pelvic floor. So your hamstrings, they'll help you manage where your weight is on the board. So you want a little rocker in your spine. It matches the rocker in your board. So press up and down. And you press up to see who else is on your wave. You don't want to cut somebody off, especially if they're bigger than you, which most of the time in my case they were. Rise up. And then come up, sliding your feet underneath you. So it's okay. It's not like yoga where you don't want to let your feet drag on your board. It doesn't matter. You just want to bring your feet up on the stringer, which is in the middle of the board. So tuck, bring your pubic bone into your breastbone and bring your feet underneath you. Press back out and tuck and come up. Now, if you don't know which foot you put first, try both. And I actually think it's gonna depend on your hip mobility, which hip is the most flexible. That one's probably gonna be more comfortable putting in front. But I don't know. See how you feel when you get out there. Press out into your plank. And then try bringing your feet underneath you. So that's a little bit of quad strength as well to pull those feet up, but you want to put your feet in between your hands so they land right on that sternum. Press out and try both sides. Press out and in. Good luck. Have fun.